Hello, class, and welcome to Chemistry 105. I am going to do this tutorial to help you navigate through your classroom. Again, I am Professor Lisa Batiste, and I am your instructor for this class. And so you're going to go to your dashboard, and I'm just going to show you on your dashboard, you'll see this Chemistry 105 class and it'll say the current term. Okay, so whichever term you're in, you're going to look for the class for your term. Right now, for this video, I'm doing the summer term. And so we're going to click on the class, and then it will open up to your home page. On your home page, you'll find there'll be a posting of the announcements. Once they are posted, you'll see those at the top. Then you see the GMC logo, and then you'll see some information. One important one important piece of information, it says please check your GMC email and the announcements forms each day for updates. So you want to make sure that you're doing that so that you're up to date with what's going on in the class. Other information on this homepage, you'll find my name, Professor Lisa Batiste. This is my email, lbatiste@gmc.edu, and my phone number, 478-387-4927. You can text or call me at this number. My office hours are Mondays from 1 to 2 p.m., and this is Eastern Time, or Saturdays from 9:30 to 10:30 a.m., again, Eastern Time. If you email me, call me, or text me, please let me know what class you are in, okay? Because I have a few classes, so I want to make sure that I connect you to the correct class. Also, if you are going to text or call me, please leave your phone number and a good time to call back. Important dates: the class begins on June 2nd, 2025. The drop-in ad deadline is June 5th, 2025. And student initiate withdrawal request deadline is July 16th, 2025. Here, there will be a link to the formative assessment how-to videos. The formative assessments are the lab portion for this class, and so I do have how-to videos for each week. And so you'll click on this link and it'll take you to a page where all of the videos will be located. And then this video, once I post it, will be listed here, navigating through Canvas for Chem 105 recording. Some nice things about the homepage is there are links for each of our weeks. Okay, and so that's important. We're going to start with week 0. And in week 0, which goes on before week 1 starts, this is your getting started section. You'll learn about how to be successful in this course. You'll see a link to the student handbook, the Global Online Leadership College student resources. So I will click on that so that you can see. This will open up in a new window. All right, and so once that opens up, you'll see all the different resources we have for students. If you're having technical issues, that's our GMC help desk. There's some useful forms if you need to receive an incomplete, if you need to be reinstated in a class, academic appeals form, and then the academic calendar, academic programs, catalog, disability services, our help desk for account issues, then our library guides and library database ebooks. And so go through here because there's a lot of wealth of information here that is available to you as a student, okay? And some other tutorials that are to come. All right, so keep checking back. This will be updated as new material is made available to you as a student. But as you can see, there's a lot of wealth of information. BrainFuse, that's our online tutoring service. Okay, it is a free service for students, so please take advantage of it. It's not just for chemistry, but any of your other classes. You have certified BrainFuse tutors provided live on-demand tutoring and assignment help in a variety of subjects when students need it the most. Through intentional collaboration, BrainFuse tutors meet students where they are at in order to effectively help students of all skill levels. Okay, and so here's the quick user's guide on how to use BrainFuse and how to navigate BrainFuse webinar. All right, and so that information is available. Student disability services. Okay, and so if you want to learn more about free resources that are available to students as well as receive accommodations, then please contact Charles F. Wells. And there's his phone number and email, or you can just visit the website. Textbook information. Our class does not use a textbook. We use an ebook that's embedded in the class itself. But if you have classes that have textbooks, this is information on how to get get access to your books. And then frequently asked questions. One thing we offer to all of our online students is Microsoft 365. It is a free download. You get access to Word, PowerPoint, Excel, Access, and etc. And so please take advantage of downloading that. You will need it for our class, and you may need it for some of your other classes as well. All right, and then our academic integrity and avoiding plagiarism policy. And so all of those are in our student resources. All right, so going back to, and any time you want to navigate to your modules, you could either go home and go directly, or you can just click on modules, and that will take you back there as well. All right, and so then we have the academic success toolkit. Okay. All right, and so that opens up in a new window as well. All right, and so that gives you different information about how to be successful as a student. Okay, different resources that are available. So check out that. Time management strategies, test taking strategies. Those are two things that I hear often from students that they need help with. Okay, so this is available to you. So please take advantage of these resources that we provide for you. All right, so other information. So it's a textbook free course. Here's a link to the textbook. You could click on that. Our laboratory information, and again, remember I'll be doing videos for each week about the lab. This is the Introduction Civil Discourse Forum. And so take a look at this because during week 0, which we are in, I want you to introduce yourself to the class and to me. I will have posted an introductory video so you can get to know me a little bit better. But you're going to introduce yourself to other members of the class, greet other members as they post their own introductions, and include in your post answers to the following questions. Are you a first-time online student? What do I need to know about you to best support you through the course? What are some potential obstacles you may encounter this term and within this course? What skills and or knowledge do you hope to gain from taking this course? And how will you apply the knowledge and or skills you gain from this course in the future? All right. And so for this introduction, you can do a video or you can write out your introduction. Either way, just to let the students know and let myself know a little bit more about yourself. Okay. And if you want to add a fun fact about yourself, please do so. All right. And so that is all that you will see in week 0. When we get to week 1, there is something very important that you need to do before you have access to week 1's assignments, and that is our attendance requirement. And so we call this participation and academic honesty verification, or PAHV for short. And so you're going to click on this and it's going to be a statement on there, and you need to read through the statement and click yes, and then you want to submit it. Once you've done this, then week 1 will be open to you. It's very important that you complete the PAHV verification. This is important because This is how our registrar's department sees that you are actually an active participant in the class. During week one, this is where you will get access to the PAHV. After week one, then the registrar's office will do a purge, and they will purge all students that have not completed the PAHV. Okay. Once you've been purged from a class, it is up to the professor to accept you back into the class or not. It's totally up to the professor. And so it's not something that's automatically done, even if you explain to the professor that you forgot about doing the PAHV. Okay. So it's very important. So I always tell students during the first day of week one, go ahead and do that PAHV. That way you won't forget, and that way you won't be purged from the class. Okay. So if we look on the left side on this bar, you have the different things that you have access to and you can navigate through. So I want to go over the syllabus with you. So in the syllabus, you will find the introduction. And so the introduction contains information about me, as well as you will find my email address and the note that I will respond to you within 24 hours, usually less, once you email me or call me. Right? So read through and learn a little bit more about me. One thing I also want to mention is that you have a link here to the portal. Okay, if you need, and if you have concerns or if you have issues logging onto the portal, getting access to your email or to your classes, please consult the help desk and put in a ticket. Okay. Other information, the course description for this class. This is an introduction to general chemistry, a systematic look at the fundamental concepts of the structure and properties of matter. Topics include formulas, chemical structures and equations, solution chemistry, stoichiometric calculations, and equilibrium, including acid-base equilibrium. This is a 6 quarter-hour course with 4.5 for the lecture hours and 1.5 for the laboratory. The course learning objectives, a student successfully completing this course will be able to discuss the properties and types of matter, name inorganic compounds, and determine chemical formulas, balance chemical equations, including oxidation reduction equations, perform calculations using the mole concept, molarity, and chemical stoichiometry, discuss and use the periodic table, discuss types of chemical bonds and shapes of molecules, perform calculations using titration data, discuss acids and bases and the pH scale, and then the course content. Definitions and properties of matter, calculations using the metric system and unit conversions, atoms, molecules, ions, and ionic compounds, the periodic table, atomic structure and electron configuration, chemical bonding and molecular structure, stoichiometric calculations, energy and heat of reactions, behavior of gases and the gas laws, solutions and colloids, chemical equilibria, acid-base equilibria, and nuclear chemistry. Because a lot of our work that we will be doing in this class involves calculations, you will need to obtain a scientific calculator. Just a basic one. It doesn't need to be a graphing calculator, but it does need to be scientific. The textbook, this is a textbook free course. All course material will be found under the course textbook label on the front course page. Okay, so that will be available to you. This is our minimum computing requirements and software requirements. So make sure that your Mac or PC does accommodate those operating systems, all right? And like I said before, you do have access to Microsoft Office, so make sure that you have that downloaded onto your computer because you will need that for some of the assignments within this class, right? Also, Adobe Acrobat Reader. Okay, here's a link to that reader so that you can have that for your class as well. And antivirus software is strongly recommended. All right. So the performance criteria, the civil discourse forums, there are 8 of them for 30% of your grade. The quizzes, there are 7 of them, 15% of your grade. The formative assessments, those are the labs. Those are 8 of them for 30% of your grade. And the comprehensive final is 25% of your grade for a total of 100%. The grading scale, 90 to 100 is an A, 80 to 89 is a B, 70 to 79 is a C, 65 to 69 is a D, and less than 65 is an F. Okay. And then our ethics policy, please read through our ethics policy. But it says Georgia Military College Honor Code. I will not lie, cheat, steal, or tolerate those who do. So make sure you read through that. The expectations and administrative procedures. So during the course, faculty are expected to, so read through what I am expected to do. And then this is the portion where students are expected to do. Okay, so make sure you read through those. Down here is the course schedule. So it gives you week by week, okay, what the weekly overview will be, what the readings are, and what the activities and assignments. For each week, you will have access to that week's assignments. But if you look here, you can always read ahead. So if you finish, say, week one's material and you still have some time, you can read ahead to what you're going to be studying for week two. You won't be able to do the assignments, but you do know you will be able to go ahead and do the reading for the upcoming weeks. All right, and then the civil discourse forums, those are our discussion forums. And so for those, this is some general guidelines. So read through these general guidelines of what is expected of you in the discourse forums. I do want to go through the rubric though, because I want to give you a heads up of what I'm looking for to get a perfect score for the discourse forums. And that is something that you want to do because if we go back to up here at the top where it talks about the weight, the civil discourse forms are 30% of your grade. And so it's very important that you do all 8 of them. And it's very important that you have all the key components for each of your civil discourse forms because we don't want that to drop your grade. So let's go back down to the rubric. So there are the peer-to-peer interactions. So that means that at least 2 replies were made to a peer and or the instructor. Okay, so that's going to give you 5 points. Contributed to the forum on at least 2 days. That's also going to give you 5 points. And so when we talk about at least 2 days, so the way I explain it to students is if you reply to your initial post on one day and maybe one of your peers, and then on a separate day, respond to the other peer. That will give you the 2-day requirement for your participation to get the 5 points. And then content relevance. So all posts convey a clear understanding of the forum's primary topic, indicated by correct use of terminology, valid reasoning, and or evidence to substantiate claims and or opinions. So the evidence would be your reference that you post. So all posts were at least 150 words in length. So that includes your initial post to the topic for that week and your 2 peer responses. They all need to be 150 words in length. And so in the announcements, I do post suggestions on how to make your post substantial so that you get the full 5 points for content relevance. And then responded to the main topic by the deadline. And so I have an announcement, and I'm going to show you in a moment of when all of those main topics are due so that you will have those turned in on time so you get those 5 points. All right. And so if you get all of these for a total of 20 points, then each week, then you're getting those 20 points and you're doing well for 30% of your grade right there. All right. And then the Authentic Servant Leadership at GMC. This is a new initiative for Georgia Military College that we are wanting students to not only exhibit the qualities and characteristics of an authentic servant leader, but also to be able to recognize authentic servant leaders in their future careers. And so, going through some of the characteristics: civility, ethical thinking, humility, critical thinking, empathy, effective communication, and emotional intelligence. So, read here about the information about authentic servant leaders. And you'll see this throughout your different courses in for GMC. All right, and the last thing is the course summary. Down here, you have access to all of your assignments for each week. These are the dates that they are due, okay, and these are the times that they are due. You can also click on the actual assignment and it will take you directly to the assignment in your class. And so it's kind of like quick links to those assignments. Note that the initial post is for your discussion forums. Your civil discourse forums are always going to be due before the peer responses. And so in the title itself, you'll see that the initial post for week 1 is going to be June the 6th, but the actual peer responses are not due till June the 8th. So make a note of that so that you have those initial response on the correct date. Okay. So this goes through to week 8. So you have that available to you. So that's the syllabus. So make sure you go through the syllabus thoroughly so that you don't miss any important information that you need for this class. And so then in the announcements, I have a whole list of different announcements that we're going to go over that you'll see pop up in the class. They are set for to start on the day that the class starts. But there are some tips for overcoming test anxiety, my late work policy, which I'm going to go over. Excuse me. So during week 0, you can expect postings on important topics that will help you settle into the course. The following is my late policy, and more importantly, how to avoid needing to use it. So during weeks 1 through 7, one makeup assignment is allowed. You must ask to make up the assignment no more than 2 days after the assignment is due. After approval is given, you have 1 day to make up the assignment. Any other makeup requests are by approval only, depending on the circumstance, and will have a 10% penalty. No makeup is allowed in week 8. So very important in week 8 that you plan ahead and that you know your due dates so that you won't come up short for that week 8. So I do no makeups during week 8. So, a good practice is to plan for things to go wrong. Life gets messy. Start on your assignments early in the week and make a plan. Do not wait until the last minute to start and submit your assignments. Life and technology have a way of interfering with plans, and if your internet goes out at 11:30 on Sunday night in the middle of your quiz, that is not good. Okay, so note that if you do not contact me promptly, late work will not be accepted. So very important. All right. So that is my late work policy. And you'll find as you're taking different classes, each professor has their own late work policy. Okay. The third party policy, so make sure you read through that, but that basically says that I can speak to you about your grades and your progress in the class, but I cannot speak to anyone other than you. So if you have someone who wants to know about how you're doing in the class, you would have to tell them yourself, okay? So then the academic honesty and use of artificial intelligence, make sure you go through our policy for that. And then the welcome message will come to you, how to videos that we'll go over, but I want to go over um, this one. This is the due dates for the discussion posts. So for week one, okay, week one is a bit different. And so the initial post is going to be due on Friday, and then the peer response is going to be due on Sunday. After week one, so starting in week two and through week eight, the initial posts are going to be due on Wednesday. Okay, so very important that you make that change. You could set up a calendar reminder in your phone. If you download the Canvas app, it will send you reminders. You can set up reminders for your phone for that. So you want to make sure that you don't miss the initial post due date, because if you turn it in after that, I start deducting points, okay? All right. The other thing that I do want to go over in the announcements is withdrawing versus dropping a course. And so in here, there is a video, but I'm going to tell you the gist of the video. So during week one, the first 4 days of week one, you have the opportunity to drop the class. And so during week zero and those first 4 days of week one, you can look through the course and you can see the different assignments, okay? And you can see if this particular course or any of your courses work well with your schedule. And so during this time of drop and add, you can go to your graduation coach and let them know that you want to drop a particular course. This has no effect on your financial aid, okay, because you won't be charged for the course. During the drop and add, you will get a full refund. You can take advantage of adding a different course if this course doesn't work, but you see another course that may work better for your schedule. So this is all during drop and add. And remember, that's the first 4 days of week zero. Starting the fifth day of week zero is when you are no longer have the advantage of dropping the course. So then it becomes a withdrawal. And the withdrawal, you get a W for the course, and it may affect you as a student. It may affect your financial aid, and it also may affect if you are a dual enrollment student. So very important that if you're considering dropping a course, you do it during the drop out period. If you are considering withdrawing from the course, meaning you've passed the drop add period and you see that the class just isn't working for you for whatever reason, there's a couple of things that you need to do. You need to first talk to your advisor, okay, your graduation coach, and let them know you're considering withdrawing from a course, because you need to speak to them so that they can let you know how this will affect you as a student, whether it be your financial aid or if you're a dual enrollment student. You just want to know what are the ramifications as a student from withdrawing from the course. So that's the first thing you want to do. The second thing you want to do is you want to send an email to your professor and let them know that you want to withdraw from the course and let them know the reason why you want to withdraw. All right. Many times students have a reason for withdrawing, but maybe they've just gotten behind in a class, and the professor may be able to work with you to get you caught up. So it's very important that you tell them the reason why you want to withdraw from the class, because maybe we can avoid withdrawing from the class altogether. All right. And there's the video. Check out that video if you still have questions between the difference between withdrawing and dropping the course. All right. So we're going to go through your modules. Okay. So once we go through week 0, you go through week 1, you'll see as we go through the different weeks, it gives you some reading preparations. There's supplementary online resources. These are videos to help you understand the concepts discussed for the week. You have your civil discourse forum, and then the weekly quiz, and then the formative assessment. So remember, that is your lab assignment. Our labs are all virtual, and so some are just assignments where you are doing different calculations or learning a particular concept and applying the concept. And some are actual virtual labs that you'll do the lab simulation and then answer questions based on that. But remember, I will do tutorial videos for each week's formative assessment. All right. And so you have all this information, and you'll see here that there's a little note that says it will unlock for each week. There's a different date that it'll unlock. So when you click on, you'll see all of this, but you won't be able to access it until that particular week is unlocked. Okay. And so the other thing is our BrainFuse online tutoring. I did tell you about it earlier in this video, but this is how you access, okay, the BrainFuse online tutoring. You click on this and it'll have you already logged in based on your login for the class itself, okay? And so I'm faculty, so it shows me my dashboard, but it will show you your dashboard as a student. All right, people, that will show you the different people that are in the class. You do have access to that. All right, and then the GMC library. This will take you to our library resources that are available to you. Okay. And so these are all the things that are available. If you have questions, though, if you have any questions as you are navigating through the classroom, if you have concerns, if you're not understanding material, please reach out to me. Again, this is my contact information, and I'm looking forward to getting to know each of you. Have an awesome term. Bye-bye.